Man, we got folks commenting before I even started tonight. What is going on? Man, why is my camera all fogged out and light all messed up? Oh, that's weird. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Thursday night, Top 5 Baits. I've got my little partner right here. Y'all see? Little Bailey, oh, Bailey girl. Old Bailey Bird Dog over here hanging out with us. What is going on, man? It's good to see you guys coming in and joining us. Coming in hot tonight. Look at y'all stacking here. Barrett Benefield, Ryan Burrows, Sean Allen, 5 Keepers Fishing, 6 Mile Outdoors, Old John Chance, Ronnie Green, Kevin Jones, Toads TV, Dale Milam, Jerry Dean. What's up, J. Dean? Raging Cajun, Justice Anderson, Juicy J in the house, Texas Kayak Adventures, Bart Armstrong, John Dendy, Stephen Latham, Jude Robinson, Kevin Carson. Hey, long time no see. You're with me today, Kevin. Brian Howell, David Gilmore, Joshua Baker, Barrett Benefield, we already said hi to him. Brian Howell. Holy cow, y'all just keep coming in. Cody Mays is here. Darren Miller, Tom G, Matt Hobbs. Awesome, man. Dustin Olson, Smash Tech Baits. Heath Taylor's in the house. Alan Calhoun, Rob Dryman, AMAC Fishing, Robbie Van. I know I'm missing some of y'all. Y'all are piling on in here. Dude, this is awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. It is a glorious week. If you're a bass fisherman in this region, Northeast Texas, Lake Fork area, all of East Texas, holy cow, have things changed in the last few days. Lake Fork, I would say, is officially in fuego. Everybody seems to be catching them really good. A lot of big fish getting caught. We caught a lot of big fish today. Today was fun. We started off tough. We had a little frog bite going this morning. We'll talk about that in a minute. And we missed more than we caught, for sure. We missed more than we caught on the frog deal. Then we picked up a little hollow body and we got on that deal. And by the time we got to the afternoon, that swim bait deal really paid off for us. And we whacked some big heads this afternoon. It was a good day to be out on the old pond. Oh, man. Let me see if I got any quick questions I can answer real quick. My favorite night of the week, dude, that is awesome. Jonathan Bolin said they beat on them today, too. Everybody's been catching them, it seems like. Mark Chambers, that's awesome, dude. Dustin Olson's going to be here on Saturday. You're timing it right, man. You're timing it right. It's fishing really, really well. It is officially kicked off in a big way this week. Which, I mean, we kind of talked about. Like, we saw this coming last week. We all looked at the forecast, and we talked about it last week on this live stream. We've been talking about it for several days of, man, it's coming. We got a full moon on Monday night. We got warm trend, a big warm trend. The water's warmed up so much. And the water temps are a really important deal to pay attention to on how you want to fish right now. There's certain areas where the water isn't quite as warm. You have to go about it a different way. If you get in the warmer water, then you can fish completely different. What's my thoughts on the final day of MLF going to Athens? That's a great question to start off with, so let's talk about that. MLF Bass Pro Tour is at Lake Fork starting tomorrow. They're going to fish the championship day, the championship round on Lake Athens. For all of us around here, we all know Lake Athens is a great fishery. Like, if you know Lake Athens, you know it's a great fishery. So for us, it's kind of like, we're like, oh, okay, that's cool, you know. My deal is, for people from outside of this area, they don't really probably know Lake Athens. Like, they know Lake Fork. Lake Fork has got a reputation. Lake Athens has a reputation locally, but it's not known nationally. My concern is, and this can happen on Lake Athens. Lake Athens has a ton of fish in it. So if they go to Lake Athens, somebody can get on a run with 2-pounders on Lake Athens and catch a bunch of fish, and it could turn back into the old stigma. Because so far this year, nobody's calling it the More Little Fish Tour. Nobody's saying that this year because they've been catching big ones. They caught big ones at Eufaula. They didn't catch a lot of fish at Okeechobee, but they caught big ones at Okeechobee. If they're going to catch, guys, they're fixing to whack them. They're going to catch some big ones at Fork. If they do that and then go to Athens and somebody runs off on championship day on 2-pounders, that's going to be a bad look. Not for us, because we're going to know what Athens really is. It's a great numbers fishery already. It also has giant bass. But for people from outside this area, it's going to be a bad look. So I hope it doesn't work out that way. I hope they could get on a roll catching big fish. I know I actually had a buddy of mine, a guy that's fished with me quite a bit over the years, told me that they just pulled up on beds in a big way on Athens, which makes perfect sense. He said he whacked them on beds earlier in the week. So they could go over there and go to sight fishing. In Lake Athens, you can sight fish all over. That lake's really clear and a lot of big fish in it. So I don't know. It could work out really well. I just hope it doesn't work out where somebody wins on a bunch of smaller fish. that being said, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this deal. Let's talk about my top 5 bait picks for this weekend. Sight fishing is possible. Sight fishing is possible. There's plenty of fish on beds. Some of the areas it's a little too early to see, but you get in the right areas with the right water temps, there's definitely a ton of bed fish up in certain areas of the lake. This is my sight fishing rig. I want to show you guys this. This is a stroker crawl on a 4/0 jugular offset round bend hook from 6 Cents Fishing. The stroker crawl is from 6 Cents Fishing. This 1/4 ounce tungsten is from 6 Cents Fishing. This bobber stopper is from 6 Cents Fishing. This bead is from I don't know who. I bought it at Oak Ridge Marina. But that's my rig. 1/4 ounce tungsten, a bead to make this noise right here. When I'm sitting there shaking it on that bed, it clacks at them. That's the rig. If you need anything from 6centsfishing.com, including some sight fishing gear, when you go order it on 6centsfishing.com, be sure you punch in the code Your Lake Fork Guide. You'll get a 10% discount on all orders. That's my sight fishing rig. I always leave a little gap between my bobber stopper and my weight to allow that bead to move up and down and get that little clack, clack, clack going. Every once in a while, you need a little clack, clack in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get a little clacking going on. What rod? I'm throwing, my sight fishing rod is the 7-4 medium heavy Sensory series rod. It's the one I'm throwing my sight fishing rig on. All right, next bait. When I have cooler water, by cooler water I mean anything still in the 50s, even into the 61, 62 degree mark. My #1 secondary bait when I'm just going around these shallow water spawn areas and fishing is a Wacky Rig Divine Shaky Head Worm from 6 Cents Fishing. We're rigging that on a Gamakatsu Finesse Wide Gap weedless. We also have a 1/2 nail weight stuck in the head right there. Yeah, instead of click, click, boom, on the sight fishing deal, it's like clack, clack, boom. That's right. I like that. Whoever said clack, clack, boom, you're winning. You win comment of the night so far. Next bait. Let's talk about something that's going to get a lot of you guys excited. The frog bite is on. Now, you need to find the warmer water. You need to find the water that's up into the 60s. Really, what you need to find is the water that's above 65, because that water's been in the 60s for several days now, even maybe a week or more. About a week it's been in the 60s probably. The white frog. Old white monster, as Ronnie Kelly likes to call it. The white frog is the one getting bit the best for me. Spro popping frog, white. If you find, the big deal for me on the frog is finding that water temp and then finding a substantial amount of flooded vegetation. Pondweed, gator grass, whatever you want to call it. Just that flooded shoreline vegetation, and I want a lot of it. If you don't have a lot of it, there's just not going to be enough fish up, and you're going to have a hard time picking those individual fish out. Remember, guys, fish get stationary around the spawn. They get spread out, okay? Hey, let's hit some thumbs up. Let's get some likes so we can get some more people in there. That way YouTube will start showing this to more people. Start hitting those thumbs up for me if you're enjoying this. I would greatly appreciate it. You want a ton of that gator grass. That's going to have more fish in there. It's going to give you a big area to fish in. That way you can start covering more water. That's going to give you a better chance to catch fish, because these fish aren't going to be like, you're not going to catch 4 or 5 fish out of the same clump of grass. That's probably not going to happen right now. These fish are really starting to get on the bank. They're really starting to spawn. They're really spreading out. And a lot of fish, where you find this flooded vegetation, because the water has recently risen over the last month, you will have an outside line of grass. You will have an inside line. There will be a gap between where the grass starts and the bank. A ton of these fish are spawning between that grass line and the bank. These bedding fish will absolutely, on these cloudy days we're about to have over the weekend, these rainy days, these bed fish will come up and eat that frog off their bed inside that grass line. So don't just fish it to the edge of the grass and fish it off that edge. Throw it up inside. Every fish that we got bit on frog today was inside the grass line. Throw inside that grass line between there and the bank. Throw right up on the bank and come off. That's how you're going to get your frog bites. Frog bites are fun. We all know frog bites are fun. All right, now, okay. Oh, one more bait. Swim jig. I'm using a swim jig with a little 6 Cents Divine swim bait as a trailer. It's a 6 Cent swim jig. Trimming the skirt way down. I'm getting a real small profile on this jig right here. This is a 3/8 ounce 6 Cents Divine swim jig. This is Table Rock Shad, I believe. It's just white. It's got a little chartreuse and a little lavender in it. Using a little white swim bait. Swim jig will get you some bites right now too. But the winner of today, and the one I'm the most excited about. By the way, this bait I'm about to show you, Heath Taylor caught a 10-pounder on it earlier this week while fishing with Brian Thrift and Luke Clausen. How freaking cool is that? But this bait won our day today. It caught all of our bigger fish. This bait, now that we've got water that has stabilized at 65 degrees and kind of staying above it, if you find water that's 65 degrees or higher, pick this bait up, guys. They're biting it. We caught them all over. We caught them in multiple locations today. This is not a one-spot deal. This is a pattern happening across Lake Fork. This bait, to me, is the deal right now. If I had one bait to throw on Lake Fork right now, it's this bait I'm about to show you. Little Holly, as I call her. Well, excuse me, Grunty. Oh, Bailey dog over here grunting at us. Little Holly is what we call her. This is a smaller hollow body from Smash Tech Custom Baits. This bait is the deal right now. This color is the deal. Pearl Flash. That's the color I'm using. The water's a little stained right now in most places where the water's warm enough to be 65 degrees, the water has a stain in it. So we're throwing Pearl Flash right now. Also like Light Hitch, which I'm going to show you on another one here in a minute. But Pearl Flash is the deal. Really simple bait, rigging it on a 5/0 owner flashy swimmer hook, as you see here. Really simple deal. You throw it out, you point the rod right at it, you reel it, you feel boom, boom, check him up, make sure he's there, swing the hammer hard as you can, and don't stop reeling until he's in the boat. Really simple bait to fish. I'm fishing that bait on a 7.5 medium heavy Divine Series 6-inch rod. Right there. The old Divine Series. I like that Divine Series. I like that Divine. See how big that handle is? Gives me a lot of hook set leverage on these baits. It also gives me a lot of casting leverage. I can throw these baits a mile with these rods. The other bait is the same bait. Now this is number 6, but this is the same bait, so this is really kind of like 5. This is the bigger hollow body from Smash Tech Custom Baits. This is the Light Hitch color. Light Hitch is my favorite color when the water's cleaner, but right now, everywhere that I'm finding 65-degree water, the water has a stain to it, so I'm throwing the Pearl Flash color. But Light Hitch is my favorite all-around color. This bait will get you a big bite. This is the exact bait right here that caught the 12-3 for the 13-year-old boy 2 years ago for me. This bait always catches big fish. I caught a big one on this bait this morning. I'm throwing this bait on the 7/8 heavy version of the Divine Series 6-inch rod. If you can't get excited about throwing a hollow belly, I'm telling you, wherever that water's 65 degrees, put that hollow belly in your hand and go to work and just hit every piece of shoreline cover and vegetation you can. The one other key you need to focus on when you're wanting to throw swim baits is get on the windy side. Right now you get back in these pockets, even with the wind blowing hard as it has the last few days, or the last couple days, whatever it's been. It blew hard today, I think it blew hard yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. Anyway, as hard as it's blown, when you get back in these pockets where the water's warm, one side will be calm because it's protected from the wind. The other side will be windy in most cases. Fish that windy side. With that swim bait, you need a little wind. I'm not really catching them at all, so to speak, in the calm water. I'm catching them on that swim bait on the windy side. That hollow belly is the deal. Order them up. You can get them at tacklewarehouse.com. You can also get them if you're at the lake at Lake Fork Marina. Heath Taylor just brought some over there today. You can get them at Lake Fork Marina while they last. That will probably be sold out by tomorrow after this video and after our seminar tomorrow night. Speaking of, we do have a free seminar tomorrow evening at Lake Fork Marina at 6 p.m. Ronnie Kelly's going to be back. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be a lot of people there. We would love to meet you if you've never been there. We look forward to seeing you again if you have been. Please come see us if you're in the area. Hollow bellies, go buy them up. Buy them now. That bait is hot and only going to get hotter. How do I fish the hollow body? Hollow belly? I just throw it out there, point the rod right at it, and reel it. And just reel it with a medium retrieve like this. It's the simplest bait. I love it. I'm so excited about the hollow belly. It's an easy bait for a fishing guide. You tell your customer, make a cast, point the rod at it, start reeling. And if you point that rod at it and just reel, it'll wiggle through all the junk, wiggle through all the grass, shoreline, it wiggle through anything. You hardly ever get it hung up. So it's an awesome, awesome bait, especially for a guide. Have I ever caught a freshwater drum? Oh yeah, I've caught old Jasper the Gasper Goo. I've definitely caught me some Jaspers before. Do I keep a buttload of tackle in my boat, or do you try to keep it to what you think they're biting? I keep a buttload of tackle in my boat. I've got everything in there, man. I've got a buttload of tackle in this garage, too. Maybe one day we'll show it. Luke Wolf's tardy to the party, but we appreciate you joining us anyway, Luke Wolf. Always on a flashy swimmer? No, not always. But right now, the fish are really, really, really shallow. Like they're on the bank, or right on the edge of this flooded vegetation. So, I want that bait to have some lift to it. That blade does give it a little more lift. Also, the water is stained. It gives it a little extra vibration, a little extra flash. I think that's a good thing. When the water's really clear, especially if I'm fishing clear or calmer water, I will not throw the flashy swimmer. What was the smaller swim bait? Well, the one was the hollow body from Smash Tech Swim Baits. It's just a smaller hollow body. They have two sizes. The other one on the back of the swim jig, that's the Divine swim bait in the 3.3 size. Matt Wilson said he found water 74 degrees. Yeah, it has warmed like crazy these last few days. Like the water has been warming. You get in the right area, it gets really warm. Do I fish the hollow belly on a straight braid? No, I'm fishing it on 20-pound fluorocarbon is what I'm fishing the hollow belly on. What do you do fishing around other guys that are disrespectful? Do you stay or leave the area? Like examples of fishing riprap with a lot of people near you. Okay. Actually, I experienced this today. You know, it's part of it, guys, especially when you're talking about, like, it's spring break, it's Lake Fork, and we got the big boys in town, so there's a lot of extra boats coming to check that out and fishing before they do and all that stuff. Like, the lake's as crowded as it gets right now. I fished an area today that was super crowded. 99.9999% of the time, it's never a problem. I don't mind. It doesn't bother me if people fish around me. I just try to really hard to not let that bother me. People want to fish around me, that's fine. They have a right to be there too. I can't be mad at them. Now, if I'm going down a bank and they cut me off, yeah, is that frustrating? Yeah, it is. What are you going to do? You're going to start a yellow match on the water? That's not going to help you catch fish. It's not going to help them catch fish. It's not going to make a point to it. It's not going to change anything for them. I just try to be the first nice guy. I try to communicate with people. I probably talk more to people than maybe I should sometimes. Like if somebody's fishing in an area and I'm trying to get by them to get back, like what happened today was somebody was fishing a little choke down area of a cove and I wanted to go to the back of it. Well, I turned my trolling motor down. They were fishing out of the left side of their boat. I tried to go around the right. He still tried to ask me to not go back there because he was fishing a tournament. I said, man, I said, I'm sorry, brother, but I need to go back there. These are customers. You know, we have a right to fish here too, and we're going to get out of your way, and I'm going to be quiet on my trolling motor, but we're going all the way to the back. We'll stay out of your way. And he goes, no, you can't go back there. I said, well, now hold on, bud. You can't tell me where I can and can't go. I said, I have every right to be back there. That's a big area. You can't block that whole cove off. He got mad at me at first. We went back there and fished. We caught a couple fish. He caught a couple fish where he was fishing. When we came back out, he apologized to me, and I was very appreciative of that. So as long as you're the nice guy, usually people are, I mean, in my experience, people are usually really nice back. There's very few instances over my years spending 250, 300 days a year on the water that I've had issues like that. April 4th to 11th, will fish be on beds? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I saw a coronavirus comment. We are not shutting down the Lake Fork experience at Your Lake Fork Guide for coronavirus. We'll get us some hazmat suits. We'll do whatever. We'll wear a gas mask. We'll figure it out. We still going fishing, dog. Like, when fishing is life, sometimes you got to fish in a hazmat suit. It is what it is. I see a lot of males on the bed. When we see the females on the bed, and how long will they be there on the bed? Well, if you go look in the right place, there's a bunch of females on the bed right now, too. If you're only seeing males on bed and you're not interested in catching males, all I can say is you just got to keep hunting. One thing about sight fishing, you got to hunt real hard sometimes. You got to spend some time getting after it, man. The females are on beds in certain areas. If you find the warmest water, there's females on locked right now. There are some big fish on beds right now. What is my favorite fishing pole? Oh, probably my 7.7 Heavy Century Series rod from 6 Cents. How does having pros on the lake when you're guiding affect you? Not at all. Not at all. Especially when they're in practice. When they're in practice, they're really cool. Like, they know we're guiding. Like, they know the deal. They've been in the business. Most of these guys either used to guide, or a lot of them still do guide on their home lakes. It's not an issue at all. They actually do a really good job of staying out of our way. Like, today we were fishing one little windy bank with that swim bait. We were kind of catching them, and one of the guys kind of set off back in the cove, and he literally just sat there and watched. Saw us catch a fish or two, and then turned around and left. Didn't even fish in there. So these guys, when they're practicing, are real cool. Like, they don't even want to catch a bunch of fish. They're just trying to figure it out and figure out where they need to fish the next few days. Now, during the tournament, it's touch and go, you know. I mean, they're always respectful of us. They understand. I mean, they deal with this in a lot of the big name lakes they go to, Guntersville, Okeechobee, Clear Lake. They deal with guides everywhere they go. They're really respectful of us. At the same time, they're not going to yield water. And at the same time, we're kind of not going to yield water because we owe it to the people on our boat to put them on fish. Now, if they're in there first, I'm going to let them have it. I'm not going to run in on them. But I shared water last year during the Elite Series with Drew Benton. We were both sight fishing in coves, not giant coves, but not tiny coves. Like, there was definitely room for 2 boats in there. And we shared those coves for a couple of days of that tournament. And he finished in the top 10, had a great tournament. So, what pattern do you think will prevail in the MLF tournament? Well, if any of the MLF guys are watching this, I know you're not allowed to solicit information or whatever, but you can consume what the public consumes. You better go buy some Smash Tech Hollow Bellies, because that, to me, that by far is the best bite I've experienced. Now, they can do sight fishing. I just don't know if they can catch them fast enough sight fishing. You can, when you get on the right stretch, you can catch them kind of fast on that hollow belly. Like, you can get after them. You just got to put your trolling motor on go and keep wiggling it through that grass, and you just catch fish. Like, it's a really good bite right now. What does the hollow belly look like? Like that right there. It's got a hollow inside. Uh-oh. 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 We had a connection issue. Oh, no. No. No connection issues. We got a ton of people in here. Y'all let me know if y'all can still see me and hear me. Can y'all see me? All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. Sorry about that little technical issue. I think my phone's overheating. A woman caught a 10.30 pound bass my first day as a full-time guide. That's the biggest a woman's ever caught me for that question. Guys, I apologize for technical difficulties. Please excuse those. I think my phone's overheating. When I just touch my phone and try and reconnect it, my phone is smoking hot. My Wi-Fi's good, but I think my phone's overheating. There it goes. We gone. Man, I'm so sorry, guys. Hey, we're going to have to wrap this up. Somebody asked about the worst weather. I got caught in a pop-up storm with 70-mile-an-hour straight-line winds, and we almost drowned. But we got back because we rolled in a skeeter. But I thought we were going to die. Like, we had to time the waves to get under the 515 bridge. They were so big. It was insane. Hope y'all heard that. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If y'all can still hear me, I apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll make sure we have a cooler environment for my phone